All right, we are live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got lots to talk about in our live stream. We're going to talk about the latest victims of the crypto hack that has compromised over $360,000 worth of user funds. This is something that actually happens. It's pretty common. And if you want to make it in the crypto space and you want to become a developer and just learn how to survive, then you need to understand this because there's a lot of people making these same types of mistakes, and it's a lot more common than you might think, okay? They actually got some news that in 2021, crypto scams topped out over $1 billion in lost funds. So we're going to look at that, look at a lot of other news updates that have happened in the space since our live stream on Friday. Again, we do these live streams Monday through Friday on this channel. Just subscribe, turn on notifications. You're going to find out those whenever we go live. We're going to answer some of your questions, check the trends on chain, look at the crypto markets, and a whole lot more. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you learn how to master blockchain step-by-step start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so get people jump in the chat here. We got Culture Eyes, Charles above Realty. Let's see, Darkos, Christian, Crypto Newbie. Let's see, Mark. Let's see here. Sport, Dale, Nick, Ugandan Crypto Guru. Awesome. Welcome. All right, so I hope everybody had a good weekend out there. We're going to be talking first and foremost about how to keep yourself safe in the crypto space today. We just got this report of the latest crypto compromise where people lost over $360,000 of user funds. Okay, we're going to be looking at that. Also, a lot of good news in the space. We've got a little bit of green on the crypto charts today. We'll definitely jump into those here momentarily. But let's start off here with $360,000 down the drain. So, and what we can learn from this. So over the weekend, Yuga Labs, the creators of Bored Ape Yacht Club, confirmed the Discord server was hacked and 200 ETH worth of NFTs were stolen. Okay, so the company behind Bored Ape's NFTs closed 11 hours after this happened. So $360,000 worth of NFTs were gone. The hack took place after the project's community manager had a Discord account compromised in which the attacker then used his particular account to post phishing links both in the official Bored Ape Yacht Club and its related metaverse project called Other Side's Discord channels. So news of the hack was reported by a Twitter user who estimates around this much ETH was stolen along with the NFTs. Okay, they traced it back to 4 separate wallets. So basically, they confirmed the exploit later. But basically, what happened here? Okay, what happened? Well, we're inside a community Discord chat for the most popular NFT projects out there. And then essentially, you have somebody who's taken over their social media account that is able to, post a phishing attempt to get other people's funds out of their wallet and essentially get them to sign fake messages that enable them to access their crypto funds, okay? So let's talk about some of the common things that happen in this and lots of other crypto scams out there and how you can keep yourself safe. Because if you're going to, operate and exist in the crypto space, then security is a top priority, especially also if you're a developer. We're talking about some of those specific things here in a second. Because, basically, this is not the only instance of this type of thing. We saw this frauds and scams top $1 billion since 2021, FTC says, okay? It's absolutely crazy, okay? So a lot of this has got to do with what's going on, inside the crypto space where people are basically, custodying their own funds. So what happened here and how can you protect yourself? So essentially, the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders were solicited by someone who looks like, one of the lead members of the community here, and they were able to solicit them from something where they say, "Hey, you sign this message," and then when they sign this message, it actually takes funds out of their account. Now we see this all the time happen on social media, where you actually have imposters who claim to be another account that aren't verified, and then they DM you and they try to get funds from you. They say like, "Hey, send me cryptocurrency." That's a pretty easy thing to spot because you can always verify whether it's the person who's actually, owns that account or not. But sometimes, entire social media accounts themselves can be compromised and the person impersonates, whoever they took over. Then they ask you to send them money or they ask you to, claim a new airdrop. That's where it usually gets really insidious, is when basically you have people who are unsuspecting on the other side that say like, "Hey, I'm going to give you something," and all you have to do is like, do this airdrop claim or something like that. and then, we're gonna give you free money. Because it'd be one thing if you just said like, hey, send me some cryptocurrency and I'm gonna let you contribute to my new secret project, and maybe some later time I'll give you some reward. But they're saying like, no, hey, go like claim this airdrop. We're going to drop this new thing. And if you do that, then boom, like you're going to get this reward. Because most people on the other side of that are thinking like, okay, if I just click this button and, I get an airdrop, then what bad could happen? I've got a hardware wallet. It's like my funds are safe inside of here. Not so fast. A hardware wallet's not going to protect you from this. So essentially what they're probably doing in this case is signing in a transaction that lets them take funds out of their wallet. So what is that? Well, basically with the NFT standard, it's the ERC 721 standard. There's a function that basically lets third parties trade tokens on your behalf. So what is that? Well, think about like OpenSea. Whenever you go trade a token on OpenSea, it's in your wallet essentially until you have to. The platform takes an action and takes it out of your wallet and matches it with somebody else. So in order to do that, you have to assign an approval message that essentially lets another party trade that token on your behalf. That's by design. Same thing for ERC20 tokens. So if you have Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies that are powered by smart contracts, then whenever those tokens are, deposited onto a cryptocurrency exchange or swapped out of your wallet, you sign an approval message that lets people take tokens out of your account and then do something with them and spend them on your behalf. So, anytime you're doing an approval signature, you always need to understand, first and foremost, whether that's what you intend to do and that somebody else can put an approval message out from underneath you when you think you're signing something else. So if somebody says like, hey, go claim this airdrop and like, click this button on a website and you sign this transaction to MetaMask, it might be an approval message that lets people drain funds out of your wallet. So you have to watch out for that, okay? So that's something that a hardware wallet's not going to protect you from. That's hardware wallets give people a false sense of security sometimes. That's one of the reasons that sometimes I don't even recommend them, because people think like, oh, this is going to keep me safe from everything. And then really like you end up doing something that doesn't matter whether you had a hardware wallet or not. And sometimes hardware wallets even obfuscate or not so that, but they just like, they make it harder to read what you're signing because you see this massive like hex code thing on there. And it get kind of confusing. So number one way to protect yourself from this type of thing is always know exactly what you're signing and why. So if you go onto a website and you're going to do something with DeFi or with NFTs, or using the blockchain, you got a MetaMask wallet installed, and you're clicking a button and that pops up and it says confirm transaction, you need to know exactly what that transaction does, okay? You need to know exactly who it's going to and exactly what's going to happen after you click that button, because if you don't, then there's a possibility that your funds could be drained like instantly or later. Okay, so what are some quick ways? What are some quick ways to do this? So number one is basically maintain skepticism with every single transaction that you ever sign. So like when you're going to do something on chain. And honestly, like I don't do a lot of on-chain transactions like all the time for this very purpose. Like I do on-chain transactions, but some people sit there and just like are making transactions all day, every day. For me, my strategy is definitely fewer moves that I think are going to be high impact, and this is one of the reasons why. So approach every single transaction with skepticism, okay? Be like, okay, just think about it like a bad guy. Is someone trying to steal money from me? If they are, how could that possibly be the case? Am I sending it to the right person? Okay, double check every single recipient, every single thing that you're interacting with. Always know what you're signing. If you're talking to a smart contract, can you verify the source code of the contract? Is it a verified contract? Is it a known, rug pull scam? Can you actually, if you're a developer, can you see the function that's inside of there? Can you use social proof to see other people who have deposited in those contracts and who else is using it? Or is it associated with this actual project? Is the contract address verified on their website? If you go to the website, is it the actual URL in the browser? You have to use all these different data points to confirm yes before you get the confidence to move forward with whatever message you're signing. So that's what I would say. You basically have to think like a bad guy. Try to verify this on multiple levels before you click that confirm button, because a hardware wallet's not going to save you from signing the wrong thing, because at the end of the day, you have to authorize it, and the hardware wallet's just the thing that lets you, have a two-step authentication hardware device for those blockchain signatures. So those are the types of things to keep at top of mind anytime you're doing this. That's the source of many, many, many crypto frauds and scams. And, part of that's a big factor of what we're seeing with this, huge volume of scams over the past year. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Have you had your funds compromised in any way? I mean, I definitely have had problems on chain where I've lost funds, okay? Not a ton, but especially early on when I was getting things figured out, okay? So I was like, this happened to me. I know what it feels like. It's painful, but some lessons, once you do learn them the hard way, I'm not saying you have to learn it the hard way, but once you do learn the hard way, like, you'll definitely think twice before you do things, right? We're just going to get that battlefield experience. You kind of start to understand that, hey, you can't be playing with fire. Somebody says scammers with fake accounts. You say, Demi, I mean, yeah, totally. It can be pretty easy to spot scammers on social media. But basically, crypto scams can get pretty sophisticated. At the end of the day, you always have to be raising red flags. Somebody says they learned the hard way. Yep. Block anyone that mass tags in a post. Yeah, totally. Mass tagging is always a red flag. All right, so let's look at a couple other things here. We're going to look at some of the trends that are going on chain right now. We're going to look at the crypto markets, look at a couple other news updates that have in the space. If you guys have any frequently asked questions that you want me to cover, in the live chat, go ahead and drop those now. We'll get to a more extended Q&A time at the end of the day, right in the live stream here. So anyways, things are definitely looking a little bit green in the short term in the crypto markets. It's encouraging to see that we're not just continuing to go straight down like we have been for months and months and months and just continuing on all these red candles. We'll look at that here in a minute. But definitely one thing I want to talk about is finding trends in the middle of a quiet crypto space, because there's still profit opportunities out there. We're seeing them, happen on a weekly basis. I'm still checking the trends on chain, watching new projects that are actually, getting steam, even though crypto space is really quiet. You've definitely seen the Goblin Town NFTs. Okay, let's just see here. Let's see here. We definitely see the Goblin Town NFT project kind of come out of nowhere. This is a free to mint project. This project started trending pretty quickly and peaked up floor price just above this. All right. So this is a good example of a project that's, launched in the middle of a bear market like we're in now that still had a lot of profit opportunity. I think we're seeing free to mint NFTs, as a trend, really take some of the spotlight right now. So, speaking of trending projects, let's look at some more. All right. Again, this is not an endorsement of anything that I'm talking about. I'm not saying I'm not trying to shill Goblin Town NFT and say you need to go buy it, okay, or anything like that. What I'm mostly trying to show you is that there's still opportunity in the space right now. It's one of the reasons it's really important to double down and watch the space like a hawk, because that's the exact opposite of what most people are doing. Most people are checking out and saying, oh, this crypto thing, like, I'm just not going to watch it. You know what I mean? But then whenever stuff starts to really heat back up again, they're like 10 steps behind, and then they're always caught chasing. So that's what you don't want to do. So if you want to be laser, if you want to be super plugged into crypto, now's the perfect time to do it. All right, while the space is quiet, especially if you're trying to acquire those high value blockchain skills. Definitely now is the perfect time to be doing that. So anyways, let's look at some of the trending projects on the chain. So I'm watching these on a daily basis. So this is my starting point for research. This is what I do pretty much every day. You're just getting a sneak peek of that. So I'm looking at new projects that have been launched that have significant financial inflows into the contracts themselves. All right, these are tokens, NFT, DeFi strategies, all that type of stuff. We can use social proof to see who has actually deposited into these. So, because, at the end of the day, you don't want to be just mining Discord groups all day and like searching on Twitter, because if you find that, you're just frankly behind. But, I like using blockchain analytics to actually see where money is being spent and who's making transactions. So you can definitely get a link to this on the description below. But let's look at some of the projects that are on here. So one particular token that I was watching that made gained some ground over the weekend was a Hedgic token. Okay, so basically, how did I find this? Let's see here. Let's see, I saw it a second ago. So anyways, the Hedgic, see here. Yeah, so it's right here. So I found it right here. So the Hedgic token Uniswap pool was starting to trend. Okay, this Hedgic wrapped ether pool or Hedgic WETH. So it got me doing some research, and this is how I see this. Like whenever I see trends start to change on chain, I start to see funds move towards something, I start to see new pools launch. It's usually a signal of like new activity happening with whatever those projects are. And so then I go research what's happening with those projects. All right, and before it gets like shilled on social media, again, I realize I'm talking about it now, but this is just insight to my research process. So anyways, the Hedgic token, we saw 18% gain in the past 24 hours. We've seen a spike of activity here. Start to wonder why and see what it is. So, Hedgic is an options trading platform, okay? That's a DeFi platform, so it's powered by smart contracts. Okay, now we see the Hedgic hardcore beta is live on Arbitrum L2. And so this is a big deal, okay? Because we're starting to see layer 2 scaling solutions take off. People ask me all the time, like, hey, what are the next catalysts for, people to get into the space? What are the next things that could cause, crypto to really kind of leap forward and get, attract a lot of attention and excitement back in this space and ultimately cause prices to trend higher. And I think maturity of this ecosystem and like layer 2 scaling solutions is definitely a factor, right? Where we actually, when people come back and they see, applications that are decentralized and low cost, where the use cases have actually started to mature, like that's a big deal. And that's part of the theme of seeing these layer 2 scaling solutions like Arbitrum heat up like crazy. And this is definitely an example of that. So like whenever you're looking at project success, part of it's following the narratives. So if we have like a layer 2, narrative where things start to heat up and you start to see these, projects perform within that sort of basket, like that can really determine like what's hot, and you can start to see those narratives and trends develop before they get hot. And that's one of the reasons I like using analytics like this to track these trends before they start getting widely discussed. Okay, so look at another trending project here. So this is the Decades. This is the David Carr retrospective. So really cool NFT photography here. Let me see here. So this is a third wave of NFT minting here. So celebrating arts and culture and embracing the future. Truth Labs is thrilled to partner exclusively with the David Carr Archive to launch a legendary collection of photographs in the NFT space. So this was wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. That's, I believe, what we're on right now. And so that's what's currently minting. Another hot project that is currently trending on chain. Again, I'm not financial advice. I'm not trying to endorse any of these projects. I'm just trying to show you that there are things that are taking off right now, and this is my process for finding them. Somebody says Arbitrum airdrop soon. So that's a good question. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Check out the video coming out later today. I think this is another reason why we're starting to see the Hedgic token trend and see some of these other projects like this is we've got the Arbitrum rollouts. Okay, I don't think this is an accident. We've got Arbitrum Odyssey coming out pretty soon, most likely. Okay, that's the rumor at least. So it's not going to surprise me if we see Arbitrum do an airdrop. We saw the Optimism airdrop happen recently. Only stands to reason that Arbitrum will likely do it. Again, we don't know for sure, but if I were a betting man, that's what I would say. Suppose have you received any DMs on Discord presuming you won a raffle? Yeah, that's probably going to be wrong. Somebody's thoughts on NFTs being sent to wallets with the fake WETH offers new phishing techniques. Yeah, I haven't seen those in particular, but you know, if it's one of the, if it looks fishy, it's probably fishy. All right, so let's go ahead and check on the overall crypto markets. Take a peek what's going on here. So we did see crypto markets in general start to trend a little bit higher over the weekend. Okay. You know, in the short term, this is definitely a good thing because it's been down only for a very, very long time. All right, let me actually check the candles. I want to see what the weekly candle, how many weekly candles. I didn't check the close yesterday because I was like, you know, I am not going to be glued to, I'm not going to watch crypto prices over the weekend. It's actually pretty great. You should try it sometime. But let's see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We ended up having 9, red candles. We were worried that we were going to have 10 red candles. We did not have 10 red candles. So now the standing red candle streak on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin at least is 9. So hopefully we never break 9. Hopefully 10 stands as the record. So anyways, we're starting to form a green weekly candle here. It's a little bit fatter than some of the red candles we've had as of late. I don't think there's any reason to get too excited about what's going to happen to crypto next. All right. So we talked last week and previously about whether the bottom could potentially be in for crypto. It very well could be in. Okay. These $24,000 level, ish. The 200-week moving average is hovering down here around $22,000. So if we come down and hit that, it could be a fast wick. All right, before we resume an uptrend. But relatively speaking, that $24,000-$25,000 range that we hit before, if it goes down a little bit more, is at the bottom. It could be. It doesn't mean we won't go back down and revisit the lows. Okay, so if Bitcoin gets a relief rally in June, which a lot of people are thinking it could because we've had such a long, drawn-out sea of red. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to rip back off to all-time highs. Okay, we could, have a relief rally, hit these longer-term moving averages as resistance, and then come back down and test the lows before we start trending higher. And it could take some time before it starts trending higher. At the end of the day, I think everybody's at the mercy of what's going on with the overall economy. And, we're going to get CPI readings this week. So what is that? It's Consumer Price Index. Basically what the Federal Reserve uses to track inflation as it impacts, consumers and, tracks the cost of all these different things. I think the CPI reading is probably going to come in kind of hot, mostly because of fuel prices. Okay. There's no fuel prices in the Consumer Price Index to my knowledge. Again, I'm not a macroeconomics expert. Don't claim to be by any stretch of the imagination, but I know I know what people are talking about, and I can think critically about this situation, which is Consumer Price Index doesn't factor in the gas to my knowledge, but it's going to basically, the prices of gas is going to impact other things that are in the Consumer Price Index. So, gas always impacts shipping. And, if it costs more to ship something, like prices are going to go up. If it includes any other travel-related expenses, those costs are going to go up. So we'll have to wait and see what the CPI report numbers come in this week. So definitely watch out for that. That's probably going to set the tone for what happens next with the Federal Reserve and the monetary policy. So, yeah. The other thing is, let's just take a look here. Take a look at the NASDAQ price. So we currently have a green day. It doesn't look too confident here, too strong on the NASDAQ. All right. I think we're still seeing pretty strong correlation between crypto and the NASDAQ. At least to the downside, all right? Anytime the NASDAQ starts to pump and get some relief doesn't necessarily mean crypto is going to. But if NASDAQ drops, probably means crypto drops. Okay. So anyways, there's a lot of talk of the Fed pivoting, okay, basically saying we've come in here, our job is done. We've destroyed, demand sufficiently so that inflation has, come down. And basically they're talking about trying to get inflation back to their 2% target. The pivot would look like, well, we don't have to quite get there and we've caused damage and we don't want to have unemployment numbers go up. So we're going to not do what we said we're going to do. And all we had to do was talk and prices came down and now we can just kind of back off. And that would definitely change the sentiment in the market in my mind. So that's one thing that could cause crypto to reverse and stock market reverse everything. I mean, to the upside. I put out this sort of this potential scenario on the channel last week because nobody's talking about this. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's total speculation. If it does happen, I'm not going to say come back to this video and look, I'm a genius. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But basically, nobody's talking about Bitcoin and some other major quality cryptos having a relief rally in June, and then a Fed pivot coming later in July while crypto sort of had this relief rally and has already started to gain some legs. And then if the entire market, crypto stocks, everything included, takes a U-turn and goes more risk on, then crypto already has some headwind, and everybody who's been sitting on the sideline and been hey, I'm not a buyer at these levels, they're sort of forced to chase and FOMO in, and that could be the thing that sort of fuels the next crypto leg up. Okay. Again, total speculation, but crypto markets have a way of essentially doing the exact opposite of what everybody thinks it's going to do, and that's a potential scenario that pretty much nobody's talking about, and therefore is a valid, potential future scenario in my opinion. Because think about it this way. I mean, how many people called the double top on crypto with any degree of accuracy at those price levels? Nobody thought it was going to do that. Everybody thought crypto was going to have this nice parabolic, easy button or easy mode, parabolic blow off top. You just got to sell it, when it starts doing all this and that and the other. And it didn't happen, right? So similarly, the lows and the beginning of the next rally, probably aren't going to look exactly like what everybody thinks is going to happen. Everybody's looking for this perfect capitulation, this perfect, obvious, easy entry, and we just may not get it, okay? We may not get it. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Somebody says oil prices affect everything. Yeah, totally. All right, everybody. That's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. And if you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty, how can you get started today? You can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find those free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can become a blockchain master step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.